Like, can you hear me? What's up? We got Hashim Smith. Am I saying it right?
Well, it's Mr. Locario. That's my
Oh, okay.
that's my pen name.
All right, we got Mr. Locario, and we got Cassidy Sinatra of Sinatra Immersion. Yeah, I definitely like your work. You're like one of the New York-based guys. We never met in person, but I've seen your work. You know, some I would agree with.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, basically this is like Cassidy's Corner, where we talk about game and everything, different topics, and help guys out. Like they hear this and they be like, "Oh wow, okay." Like it's pretty opening, you know.
Right.
All right, so this will be it.
What's going on with you?
Pretty good. Yeah, I've seen like some of your stuff. Like I like it. Like there's not so many guys that have like good content, you know.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Basically, I want to do this podcast, you know, just not really like any like topics, just free, going into everything and anything.
Okay, cool. That's what's up.
Yeah. So basically, like tell me how you got like started into like meeting women, like being a coach and whatnot.
Basically, like I got started because what I used to do, like I used to just work in an after school program doing like video production and all that other stuff. And so like I was, it was cool, but I wanted to do something on my own. So I had to figure out, I was talking to my business partner, who was my best friend. I was saying, what can I do that's, that I know how to do, that I can actually, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then so then what happened was I started to think, I was like, hey, I can talk to girls. I know how to do that. I can teach guys how to do that. So that was like the first thing that came to my mind. And so I used to help my friends go out and talk to women. So he was like, yeah, you should do that and really try to make that happen. So then that's kind of like how it started. And I just started doing videos on YouTube. After that, I started writing for articles for different websites and all that other stuff. So, it just snowballed from there.
Yeah, that's what's up. Like you lived in New York for a while, or you like moved from?
Oh, I've been here all my life, like pretty much born and raised. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like me, I was born in San Francisco, but I've been living in New York for a long time now.
Okay, that's what's up. It's
definitely a reason like all like the top guys that teach, they come here to New York City. It's like the Mecca.
Right, yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening out here, man. There's a lot of women, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of events going on, a lot of things happening in the street. So,
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah, like I'm 22. I've been coaching for 2 years now. Like it's just hit me now that like how big New York is. That everything comes here, Times Square, Fashion Week, awards, like everything.
It's huge out here, man.
Yeah, and the one thing I like to tell guys is like not every area is like different. Like you got places like Delaware, like Midwest areas, places like LA, like all of these cities and states are different. You got to like switch your tactics up for these different areas.
Right.
Like a guy that does pretty good in, let's say, Kansas, he comes to New York City, he's going to have like a wide awakening.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because it's a whole different vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a different vibe. Some really hot chicks out here, some of the hardest to stop. So he's got to like step his game up.
Right, exactly. Real talk.
Yeah. Like, what would you say like your type of like woman is like that just attracts you like your favorite?
Yeah, I basically like physically, I like thick women. Like I like women that have like that Beyonce, Kim Kardashian body. You know what I'm saying? Like I love chicks who got, nice round ass, nice thighs, all that stuff that, they just got like a body on them. You know what I mean? I don't care if she's black, white, Asian, it don't matter. But as long as she has some sort of curves on her, I don't want no fat girl. You feel me? But I like when the chick has some curves on her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I find myself as like the black guy drawn to like a girl that has curves. Doesn't necessarily be black. It could be like curvy white, curvy Asian, Spanish, And like one thing you can like hear sometimes in the community, like from like a black guy, like if he goes for like curvy girls that aren't black, it's like, oh, he's going for like a whale or something. She's so big.
Right, exactly.
Even if she's like, let's say like a Kim Kardashian type, they'll still kind of say that,
Right. That's true. Well, a lot of times, some of those guys who say that, well, some of them are conditioned to feel like, they're like, okay, well, that's just not their type. It is what it is. But some of them, they're actually into those curvy girls. But a lot of times they don't attract those curvy girls, so then they try to, like, you know, play them and try to act like, oh, I don't want that, that's whack, they too fat and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how that goes sometimes, you know?
Yeah, because I have like some like Asian friends and white friends, and like sometimes we'll see the same girl and like she be a little curvy, and be like, no,
Right.
mm-mm.
Mm.
And then let's say
Right.
it's like a skinny Asian girl, he's like, oh, that's just my type, and I'm like, where's her
Right.
ass? Like, where is it at? You know?
Right. I feel you.
Yeah. So, but like, what do you think about like rotations and like having like a bunch of girlfriends and whatnot?
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like, you know, me right now, you know, I'm in an open relationship and an open marriage, so I have a wife
Okay.
and I also got a girl, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so, you know, I make it happen, you know what I mean? And to me is I always tell people, like, you know, you got to figure out what you want to do and then create that type of life for yourself. You know what I mean? So I figured out what I wanted to do in the game, which is I wanted to be with multiple women. So I created that situation for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I see a lot of guys, they get stuck in these relationships and think they have to be with one girl
Right,
and think it
right,
has to be just her way when it could be your way. You don't have to settle. Like, you can
right,
do what you
right.
want.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, like I remember I did another call with another guy where he's like, a lot of his students, they get trapped in some long-term relationship with the girl where she's kind of the best he could do, and he thought it
Right.
was the best thing. Next thing he knows, he loses her, he doesn't have any other girls, and he's just more fucked up than when he found in the first place.
Right. Nah, real talk.
Yeah. Like, do you follow like some of the guys in the community, like a Justin Wayne or like the RSD stuff?
Yeah, I like a lot of RSD stuff. I like how they, you know, structure their situations, their company and everything. I like how they do their free tours and stuff, and they
Yeah.
got, you know, they talk to a lot of these different dudes. I like how they do that. I met Justin Wayne one time. You know, he was out there. You know, I think he was actually coaching a guy when I had met him real quick. But yeah, a lot of people out there that they do their thing. I just like, you know, when a guy actually is doing his thing and he's basically just trying to help other guys really get to that point and that level.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when guys don't really understand the game or they're not in it or they don't have any experiences, you know, they never get to that point to understand like the potential of where they can really go with it, or they don't understand the type of women they can attract because they're not really putting themselves like in that situation. So, you know, guys like me and you know, we help guys understand like where they can actually go and where they can take it. You feel me? So
Yeah.
that's, you know, it's important that, you know, we're able to be out there and make that happen.
Yeah, actually, I met Justin Wayne too like a while ago. Like, talked to him a little bit, and met some of the RSD guys, like the guy Todd. He lives in New York now.
Oh yeah,
So,
I always be tied around, you know, and then went in New York City and so yeah.
yeah, I've seen him around like the meatpacking district.
Right.
And like one problem I hate, like some guys on it, like that I know like have with RSD is like they're so big now that they're just pushing out just anything and everything,
Right.
just to like keep in front of the curve.
Right.
Yeah, some of it like like the other products aren't as good as like the previous one. Like it just anything now.
Yeah, well, that's what happens a lot of times when, you know, because this is the thing, you can have as many things going as you want, but it has to have, you know, it has to have some more quality to it. Meaning, it has to have, and I'm not saying that they don't have the quality with their stuff. I'm just saying, like, you know, it has to have some type of substance to where whatever that thing is, you know what I mean? It's going to be helpful and not necessarily be something you're just putting out just to, like, you know, have something out all the time. You feel what I'm saying? Because I put out a lot of content, I put out a lot of videos, and sometimes I'll literally take a whole day just to think about what I'm gonna say, and did I already say this before? Is there a
Yeah.
way is there a way I can explain this better, or is there a question that I haven't answered yet? So I'm always trying to make everything better than the last thing and improve, so that the people who are getting the information, you know, keep getting better and they keep improving. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. like something that I do, like, because I don't want to like copy. I like whatever I'm dealing with currently, or that like I'm like advancing or whatever. I start to work
Right.
on things like that and talk about it to like
Mhm.
make it better.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, and that's the good thing about being out there and making stuff happen, because you get that firsthand experience, and you keep going out there and making these things go down, and then so you have a certain knowledge base that you then can bring to your audience. You feel what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
that that's important, and I think like um and this is what I tell a lot of guys who want to learn this stuff. I'm like, you're very fortunate to have a coach who has the years of experience or whatever
Experience. Yeah.
to bring to you all at one time. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, it's very like important that guys understand that.
Yeah, it's like you got a very experienced coach. He's been in like a lot of different scenarios. Whatever
Right,
problem you have, he's seen it before and has
right,
conquered it.
exactly, exactly,
Yes, I'm always like trying to find the best ways to deal with situations, like
right.
testing trial. Like sometimes you're texting a whole bunch of girls, and you're sending out a specific text to like five
Mhm.
different girls just to see
Right.
how this text works.
hmm Right, exactly, exactly. Yeah, you got to test stuff out. But the thing is, in order for you to test stuff out, you got to be in the situations, and a lot of times, like the coaches, we're in those situations, or we've been in certain situations that have gives us a certain amount of experience to let guys know, like, hey, this is this type of stuff that happens a lot of times when you're in these situations. But I always tell guys that they themselves have to be the ones to put themselves in their own particular situations so that they can figure out how certain things work for them. You feel what I mean? Because I
Yeah,
think sometimes guys, they'll look at somebody like somebody else doing certain things, and you can learn off of that. But the real learning comes when you actually take the knowledge and apply it to yourself. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So that's what just got to understand.
Yeah, because one thing I feel like I tell students, like some things should be like unique for them. Like, because me, like
Right.
when I go out, some would say I peacock, I dress kind of flashy and whatnot. I got my own style. So certain guys, if they try to just copy everything I do, it may not
Right.
work for them. It may not be
Exactly.
congruent.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
Because how you are is it's about you. You feel me? And then so like if somebody's trying to copy exactly what you're doing, that might not work with their personality or whatever it is. So they got to figure out what they
yeah,
need to do themselves. They implement the rules of the game and the basis of the game, but they turn it, they make
yeah,
it something for them.
yeah. Like a common theme I see, like some of the guys in the community. I'm not gonna say names, but like some of the guys that aren't coaches. A lot of them are just clones of like famous RSD coaches. Like,
Right,
like you
right.
got a bunch of guys in the club just being like, you, just pointing their hand out, spinning girls around, being kind of creepy. Yeah, it's funny. You see things like this.
Right. Yeah, a lot of dudes do because again they're not really being authentic. They're not being who they are. They're not really bringing their own flair to the situation. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and people get sense it. Girls definitely get sense it.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Like they can tell because see that's the thing. And this is the thing that I try to tell guys a lot of time is that if you're interacting with a woman, the more comfortable you are with yourself, the easier a lot of the interactions are going to go, because a lot of times women get approached by guys all the time and all this other stuff. So if the interaction seems inauthentic, or it seems fake, or it seems like you're trying to put on something,
Uh-huh.
it's the equivalent of when you're walking down the street and when you see those people that's like on the street trying to sell you like cologne, or they're trying to sell you like they're trying to get a donation for something.
Yeah,
So
I see that a lot.
come up and say something. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's like you're like that type of person versus, let's say, if you were walking down the street and then somebody sees you and they say, "Oh, that's a really nice jacket," like just out of the blue because they thought your jacket was nice. You feel what I mean? And
Yeah,
it comes more authentic and natural. You see what I mean? But it's like if you have that comfortability, then it's going to come off more authentic and natural when you're talking to that girl versus you sort of coming up and trying to put on a canned line all the time where it seems like you're putting on a show. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like sometimes that can be hard to teach guys not being this like this fake thing that they think works. That girls like this little fake persona, this little
Right.
act. Like when it's
Right.
much more rewarding, like if you are yourself 100% and she falls in love with you for you. Like it's not an
Right.
act, it's you.
Right.
Versus she fell in love with this fake version of you that does all of this stuff. Like
Mm.
it's not gonna help you in the long run.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Another thing that
Exactly.
I've been looking at lately is like catcalling videos, like women walking, like you see on
Mm.
YouTube. 10 hours walking in New York City, the guys catcall.
Right.
Yeah, like my opinion on this, like the catcalling, like it's just very like juvenile. It doesn't work. When you
Mm.
could just approach a woman, stop her, get the
Right.
instant date and all that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like, well, the thing is, a lot of times, just but just the guy sort of quote unquote catcalling, just like yelling out something or saying something. It's a safe way for a guy to feel like he actually did something. So a lot of
Yeah.
these guys want to talk to women, but they're not comfortable actually going up and having a conversation. So they'll just sort of say something as she walks by so that they can feel good about saying something to a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like really pushing themselves in a direction to actually get real results to make something go down. You feel me? So that's the thing.
Yeah, I could tell a story. I remember like me, I was about to approach a girl. She was like this cute mixed girl walking, and there was three black guys in front of a store. They were catcalling her. They were like, "Oh, I like your shorts, this and that." She ignored them and walked into the store, and then I
Mm.
proceeded to walk into that store and I approached her.
Right,
And I
right,
actually used them as the opener. I was like, "Did you hear those guys? They were like catcalling you." So she's like, "Yeah, I just laughed that off."
right.
And I wound up getting like the instant date and a number and all that just from
Right.
actually approaching.
Exactly, exactly. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah, you
It's
got
like,
guys that just stand there. And I say it's a reason why they do these videos in like places like New York City. They wouldn't do that in Delaware or like Missouri where God, they don't even catcall, let alone approach.
right, exactly. Yeah, it's real talk.
Yeah, it's different. Like, what do you say is like some of the biggest like problems you hear from guys like when they're coming to you?
Say that again.
Like when you get students, like what's the biggest the most common like problems you get from them being like do they say their looks? Do they say money? Like
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a lot. I get a lot of the whole looks and money thing, or looks, money, and status. That's like the big uh thing that a lot of guys think that is holding them back. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
so, and the thing is, it's it's understandable because they don't have real world experience. A lot of those guys, and that's why they think that. So they're looking at the game through their perspective, and their perspective is limited. So they're limited to thinking about what they see on TV, what they hear in the media. So they're watching movies where it's like the handsome guy comes in and, makes this go down. Or they have a movie where the nerdy guy becomes like the cool guy and then the women like him later. And that stuff is not real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like a lot of these dudes, they look at magazines, they look at these different things and they think, oh, it's all about looks, it's all about money. And if I don't have any of those things, then these really, hot girls aren't going to be into me. But it's like, the thing is that if they actually took time to go out there and, talk to women, interact with women, know how to, be an attractive guy. You know what I'm saying? And when I say attractive, I'm not just talking about looks. I'm
Yeah,
talking
not
about
just looks.
overall being attractive. They'll understand what it means to get women, because there's a lot of guys out here who are, average to below average looking dudes who get
Like
like
stunners. I've
all the
seen it.
time.
I know guys too, yeah.
Right. It's happening all the time. So I'm like, if you see that all the time, then, what's the excuse? And a lot of times they'll say, well, the reason why that happens is because that guy has money. That's why and it's like, they always have that excuse.
They got a lot of excuses.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's
And,
tall. Oh, he's
right.
got money.
Mhm.
Yeah, like for me, like if I get like with a real hot like model or something, they're gonna be like, oh, that's because you're black. She likes black. Like,
right. Exactly.
just any excuse like that they
Right.
would like try to throw at you.
Right. It's crazy.
You see it
Crazy.
happen all the time. I would say.
Right.
Yeah, and one thing that I like tell the students, like when it comes to looks, is like looks is just one thing that makes guys attractive to women. Like one is like intelligence, sense of humor,
Mhm.
style, like
Right.
his
Right.
conversation, like his whole game, like all of that stuff adds up. So it's not just looks or money. It helps, like being a
Right.
10 in looks, it helps, but it's not
Exactly.
all.
Right. It's like if you are a good-looking guy, that's the icing on the cake. Like, oh, a woman is thinking, wow, this is a cool guy.
Yeah.
I like him, and he's good-looking. He's cute. They'll say, they'll say that stuff. And a lot of times, usually, like, if a woman is maybe like 18, 19, 20, then yeah, looks is, mostly a big deal because
Yeah, I
they're
was gonna
like
say that. Yeah.
girls. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of women are about how they feel and how they feel when they're around a certain type of guy. So this is why you'll see women with guys who are not so good looking or whatever, because those guys have tapped into their emotions and they attach that feeling to that guy. And that's the thing that a lot of guys don't understand, is that the way that we're attracted to women physically, women are attracted to the way that a man makes her feel. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when she gets a certain feeling around him, she wants to continue to be around him because that feeling she gets, it only happens when she's around that guy. So she's like, well, I like the way I feel around him. I want to see him again. You see what I mean? And that's the thing that makes a woman, keep going for that dude.
Yeah, because before I got in game, I would like see guys like with really hot chicks, and I would be like the common guy and be like, oh, he's probably just got a whole bunch of money, or he's got this and that. And then as I got in game, I was like, no, it's not. That's not always the case,
Right. Exactly.
This guy could be have the greatest game, even though he's probably like a foreign looks. Just the greatest game. He's great in the bedroom. Like, he just has everything else handled.
Right. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and like when something that I like to do when I'm talking to women, having conversations, ask them like, what's your type usually? And usually the young girls, they have a specific type or something they go for.
Right.
But a lot of them, the common answer is like, I don't really have a type. It's just personality. How does he make me feel and whatnot?
Exactly. Right.
Especially for the older women, that they're like, no, not really the looks. Like, how does he act? How's his whole like,
And it's funny, if you notice when you ask a lot of women like, hey, what's your type? A lot of them will talk about like traits, like personality traits, and how a guy is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't hear too much women will be like, oh, he has to have a 6-pack and he has to look like a male model. Like, you'll never really even hear a woman talk like that.
You don't hear that much, and it's very superficial too. And you can like judge her on that if she was to say that.
Right.
Like, if she's like, oh, a 6'4" model and all this.
Right.
Like, be like, oh, very superficial. Okay, I see.
Right.
Yeah, so usually it's personality traits and everything.
Right.
Yeah, and one thing that I see today is like a lot of like feminists and whatnot, one would say shitting on like the community and whatnot. Like, they pick up like the bad things, like thinking it's just manipulative, us just having sex with women, just fucking them for our own selfish needs and throwing them out in the dirt. When it's really not, it's really not just about that. It's really not.
Right, but that's the thing. They'll never. It's one of them things where unless you're in the situation or inside or understand the game, they don't understand what it's really about. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's hard to explain to someone, like, even for example, it's hard to explain to a guy who's the quote unquote nice guy why a woman would more so be attracted to the bad boy or something. You feel what I'm saying? Because
he's gonna have to wrap his head around a lot of new ideas that are kind of gonna change him. He's gonna be like, really? He's gonna be like, yeah, I'm sorry to break it to you, but.
Right, exactly. So you can't even have that conversation with certain people until you have to bring them into that world first before they can actually even have the conversation with you about understanding what's really going on.
Yes.
So it's one of those things,
Yeah, I'm sure this has happened to you before. Like, sometimes if I go out, it could be a newbie or a guy that doesn't do game, and he sees me approach a girl, and let's say I don't even do nothing amazing. I just approached her, she smiled or whatever. They see it, and then they come up to me and be like, whoa, dude, how'd you do that? Or what did you say? Like, they're just so amazed. But to us, it's just kind of
another... rocket science, like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. Like, there's like you're doing magic or something.
Yeah, to us, it's another day in the park. It's like, this is what I do. This is how things work. And they're like, whoa, dude, you must be like an artist or something. Like, whoa.
Yeah, that happens all the time. It's funny.
Yeah, like, I remember approaching a girl like in the meatpacking district, She was like a modelish type. I approached her. She smiled. Didn't get the number, but nice interaction. And it was like a maintenance man or something like sweeping, and he seen it. He turned around. He's like, "Yo, bro, I gotta clap it up for you. That's what's up. That's amazing." He's like, "But what did you say to her? What did you say?"
Right. Because a lot of guys don't do that. A lot of guys don't even have that experience. There's a lot of guys who've never really like approached women like that. You know what I'm saying? They, like some of them, if they've ever been with women, it's usually like women that they went to school with, or women that a friend of her friend knew, so they sort of hooked it up that way. You know what I'm saying?
Friends, they'll do school work. Yeah.
Like most guys aren't really going out. Like a lot of guys go out for a night and they'll literally go to a club with like hundreds of beautiful women and not talk to one of them at all. You know what I'm saying?
I've gone to clubs and seen it, and it kind of is like so weird to me. I could never do that myself, but I see it. Like I remember me, like we were in the 2-7, me and my wing talking to these two girls, and there was another guy, and he started talking to me. Nice guy, but he didn't know nothing about game. And I was like, "Who are you here? Well, what's your plan tonight?" He's like, "Oh, I'm here with 6 of my guy friends. We're just hanging out, getting some beers."
Right.
He's like, "Some pretty girls in here." I was like, "You should talk to them." "Oh, no, we're just sitting down."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, if you want to say hello, I mean, you can. You can just say it's a bar, You could,
right. Exactly.
He's like, "No, I'm fine. We're just sitting down having some drinks, but there's pretty girls in here though."
Right. That's how it goes, man.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to hear. Like some guys, I don't even think they know they can approach. Like it's even like allowed. They can even do it.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, I can't do that. I don't know her, so I can't."
Right.
That's where you see like with the catcalling, they're like,
right.
They just say their words, and hopefully she will stop and come near them. They would hope that she would stop and have a conversation with them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but approaching, some of them it's not even in their like reality, I would say.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of them just don't do it. They've never done it. Some of them never done it. Some of them, if they've done it once or twice, they probably had like an experience where a girl rejected them, or the girl wasn't, being all friendly and stuff to them. So they feel like, oh, I'm not going to do that ever again, so that they come from that standpoint.
Like, I'm not even bragging. Like, for me, like, you put me against one of those guys that just is the catcalling, I'm going to win, like, every time, basically.
Right.
I've had times with a dude, he did his little catcall from across the street. She may have turned, but he didn't do nothing. And then I literally walked up to her and started talking to her.
Right.
While he's looking from a distance across the street with his head up.
Right.
When he could have just walked up to her. Like, I think I can tell you a story. Like, I think it was last week, Meatpacking District. We were out. There was a girl walking from the 1-0 Club. There was a guy with a black guy with a book bag on. He seen a girl. He was like, "Come here," with a real stern voice. And she actually turned for a second. And then, like, I was walking up. I was like, "Forget him. You don't know him." And then I just sort of, like, running my game on her.
Right.
Yeah, but he's from the distance, like, trying to, like, call her, like, to get her to come over and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, this is something you see a lot.
Pretty much.
Next, let's talk about like what do you do like for your like escalation moves? Like if you're on a date with a girl, like the first date, like what would you usually do to like break the ice?
Well, usually what I do is that when I'm talking to her, like I just like when I first, let's say I meet a girl online, or I get a girl's number and we can meet up to get the drink or whatever. And usually I like for first dates, I usually go to get like a drink or something that's, at night, because I feel like it's a little bit more intimate at night. You feel me?
Yeah, I agree.
And to the, to stuff going down. But all I really do is like, when I'm like, let's say I'm at a bar and I'm sitting there, I'm talking to her, I'll have a little small talk for a little while. And then what I'll start doing is I'll start seeing how her body language is toward me. You know what I'm saying? So I see like how she's reacting to me, even while we're just doing the small talk, and sometimes that'll tell you a lot of how much the girl is into you, like if she's leaning into you, if she's like, moving towards you closer. And then, so what I do is I, start to, I put my arm a little bit around her, like on her waist or whatever while I'm talking to her.
Yes.
And I'm rubbing her back while I'm saying certain things, and I'm seeing how she's reacting to me touching her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then a lot of times I just sort of like if I see that she's responding positively to that, I just go in for the kiss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then so after that's done, it's like, okay, now I'm seeing that she's feeling the situation.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what I do is, and I started to do this more. I wasn't really doing it before, but I started to do this more because I felt like it was more necessary in a lot of cases, where if I'm on a date with a chick, I usually try to have sex with her that night, right?
I do that too, yeah.
And the reason why I do that, and the reason why I tell guys to do that, is that, you know, if you're there with her and she's feeling you and y'all are making out and everything seems, you know, cool, and especially if it's a situation where you have the time to do it. Because I've been on dates with girls, it'll be like the middle of the week and it'll be late, so it's like I can't really take it too far because I got shit to do in the morning or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or she got to work and all that other stuff. So it's like the weekend and we ain't got nothing else to do. And I see that it's escalating and we're kids and all that. I try to make it happen that night because she's actually ready to get down at that moment. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of times if you don't do it, and you say, okay, well, you know, let's meet up next week or something like that. You could meet up with her next week, but then she might not be in that same mood to make it happen.
Yeah.
Or you might never see her again. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the girl's like mind changes and then things.
Oh, yes.
You know, so that's why it's important, if you can, to try to make it happen.
It's like a lot of scenarios where, because girls, they change their minds all the time, very emotional. And to logical guys, they've been like, it should be very simple, A and B, like.
Right.
But girls,
right.
they're all about how they're feeling in the moment, you know.
Right, exactly.
Just like a girl could dish you in one moment if she's feeling bad, but if she's feeling happy, that'd be a good time for you to go for a kiss or a hug or something.
Exactly, yeah, pretty much.
Because me, when it comes to escalation, I basically like touch early, always like to touch early. I like to go to bars. That's always good for like touching, get a little drink. Me, I don't drink personally. I just drink a water. I don't drink either. Yeah. What is it? I'll get red wine if she gets it for me usually, and then she drinks her drink, like little soft touching. And one thing game teaches us guys is like calibration, like being like sensitive to all those little like reactions the girl gives.
Right. Exactly.
Or before she even does it, like I put my hand on her leg. And she I feel like she's not liking it, or her leg moves a little bit negatively. Right. And I calibrate back, put my leg over, like I know you know what to do.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because it's almost like you're reading the situation, and I think that's like a skill that a lot of guys need to work on, because when you read the situation and you know sort of like, okay, well, I could see this going this way, I see how the vibe is, and then you know when to, you know, push it forward or when to fall back. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that's the thing that's going to make it, you know, you get to point A to point B in a more efficient way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. It's like certain moments you kind of could just like tell when a girl is on, when she just wants you to kiss her, or she wants you to fuck her. Like certain times you could just tell. She gives you that look. Sometimes it's that touch.
Right.
She leans in a little closer, and you know it's time for the kiss.
Right. Exactly.
And a lot of like newbies, like they see like a guy like me or you or other guys, and they see something happen very flashy. They're like, "Whoa, you just went right in for it." When they don't know there were a lot of little moves in between.
Right. Exactly. They don't see that. They don't see all the little intricacies of what's really going on in the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Because to me, it's like it's a whole bunch of little moves. Like I'm testing compliance. I'm hugging her. I'm seeing how she responds to my face next to hers. Like if I kiss her on the cheek, does she back up or does she like move in? So like it depends.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of guys see, you know, they just think it's just one trick. Like, oh, you just made out with her in a minute. Oh, but they didn't, you know, they didn't see all the other stuff, all the little moves you did, you know.
No, it's true. And also they didn't. Sometimes they don't see the interest level of the girl and how interested she actually is in you. You know what I'm saying? But you can see it. You know what I mean? So since you say, okay, I know that I can move faster than I probably was even thinking of moving. You know what I'm saying? So it's that type of thing.
Exactly. Like one thing I see, like when a girl is on for sex, if you waste time and don't fuck her or you do something else, her emotions are gonna change, and you're kind of just fucked, you know.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Especially like in nightclubs and everything, where girls they could be like,
you gotta fuck them right then and there.
they could be like a dare or something. Like somebody snaps their fingers and she turns her head.
Right.
Like when a girl is on, you gotta pull that trigger very quickly.
Pretty much.
Because I would say it's a very short window. Some guys think they have like unlimited hours and whatnot to get her. When no, that's not the case. She's gonna get like turned off after a while.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the difference between how men and women are, because for us, we see a girl we like, and you know, we could see her today and then see her next week, and we still gonna like her. We could see her the week after that, and we still have that feeling of wanting to stop sex with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I find for us guys, like we're way more looks based than the girls. Like we just see a hot girl, be like, yeah, I can fuck her now. See her the next day. I still want to fuck her, you know.
Right. Exactly. So you know, but yeah, it's a different thing for us, man.
Yeah, like we're in tune with all these like different moves, like how the girls react and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I would like to relate it to like a hunter or something, about to hunt like some animals. He's very like sensitive to how the animals react to him. He doesn't just step on anything. He's smart. He knows how to react.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing like when you're meeting women. Like we sense these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
Before the girl even senses it, like the girl, she's about to move her hand, but she doesn't notice it, and then you notice it, and you move back before she does.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's sort of like a sixth sense you get once you're used to being in those situations. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because the thing is that since you put yourself in those situations so much, and you're learning how to interact with women, right? And then you start to see like little patterns, little intricacies that start to look familiar. You know what I'm saying? And you say, okay, I noticed that a lot of times when I do this happens, and then when I notice that this happens, I can do this to make that happen. You know what I mean? So it's like, and so that ends up, and it starts to become second nature to you, to where you're not even consciously thinking about it. It gets to a level of where it's on a subconscious level, and then you just start to react, you know, automatically to what you need to do.
I couldn't agree more. I got a buddy who said this thing, like, even when you're not gaming for a long time, it's still, you got like this muscle memory. Like you just know natural things to do. That, like, for me, even on an off day where things are going bad, everything's not working, I'm depressed or whatever. Like, you put me with a girl, I still know certain things to do. I still have like good game, this muscle memory.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, versus the other guy that he doesn't know what to do, you know. So definitely helps a lot.
Right, it's true.
And I hear a lot of guys, like when it comes to like the bedroom escalation, a lot of guys have like different techniques to give the girl like an orgasm quick, or to last longer in the bed and whatnot. Like, any techniques you have, like with the women, like in the bedroom, like orgasms and whatnot.
Well, the thing that a guy has to work on is his ability to last. You understand? Like last longer. And you know, that unfortunately, well, it depends, because like if you're the type of guy, if you masturbate or whatever, you can sort of practice sort of how to, you know, to do that to where you delay your ejaculation.
Yeah.
But when you're with a woman, you have to be able to, first you gotta have the stamina. You gotta have the, you know, and you have to be able to, you know, have that energy to get it to that point to where you're, you know, dealing with a woman where she's going to feel that sort of, she's going to feel it in that way. And but also too, a lot of guys, underestimate the importance of foreplay. You understand?
Yeah.
So a lot of times guys, they'll go up to a girl or they're about to have sex with her, and they're just rushing because they want the sex to happen so bad. Okay, let me get it in. Let me do my thing for 5 minutes and get my nut and get out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, like I've learned, like foreplay is very important. Like me, I'm a guy, not bragging, has no problem with stamina. Like I can last like long time, like 20 minutes or so, right? But with certain girls, like just lasting a long time doesn't do it. They need that extra little foreplay.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I just have a rule for a while. Like I wouldn't put my penis inside them unless they were like really wet and like really
Right.
begging
Exactly.
for it.
Exactly. You're right. Exactly.
Versus you rushed it and you went in her like she was kind of still dry and you just humping like a dog or something.
Right.
Yeah, happens a lot.
The thing for women, right? Um, women like sometimes take a while to get in that mood. Even while you're naked and you're about to do shit, you
Yeah.
gotta sort of warm that up in a lot of cases for women to where they're getting to that point where they actually are there. You know what I'm saying? And then once they're there and they're comfortable in that situation, then that's when a lot of times women have the orgasm. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Like I find when a girl is like in the moment, her orgasm can happen very quickly. Once she's like in the moment, she's comfortable, she feels like she knows you and
Right.
everything. It can happen very versus she doesn't know you. It happen kind of fast. Although she
Right.
likes it, she doesn't like it enough that she's gonna come. She's not that comfortable yet.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Just so certain things like a lot of foreplay, like get her super wet, so she's
Hmm.
begging for it. That helps.
Right. Exactly.
Like me, I have like my own rule for like the one night stands. I don't go down on a girl unless we're like dating or we fuck at least once or twice.
Right. Right.
Like for the first night for me, it's gonna be fingers and like dick and kissing and all that.
Right. Right. Exactly. I feel you on
Yeah,
that.
because I've had some girls where I would get them to their place or my place, and they would like
Mhm.
have their legs down and be like, here you go, and I'm like,
You're
yeah,
like, nah.
no. The most I can do is a lick. That's the most, but yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Because sometimes, I don't know what's going on down there
Yeah,
to
we
where
just met. I'm not that kind of guy.
I'm.
For me, one common thing I'll do is like I don't ever like ask the girls like give me head on like the first night, but like I'll move closer to them like with my dick like near them, and if
Right.
they like
Right.
so grab and everything, like great. If not, okay, I guess we're just fucking then.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Because I had sex with some girls where they weren't down and like give me head the first night, and like I didn't give
Hmm.
them head, but we could still fuck. Like that's
Exactly.
cool.
Right.
And if we like getting like into some relationship, then going down oral, all that to be start to happen.
Exactly.
Yes, I say that's powerful. Right, so like we're at 41 minutes. All right, so I think we got enough here. I'm thinking I'm gonna end this and call you back to get like an intro because I didn't even introduce you or anything for the guys. We just went straight into it.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
All right, so I'm like hang up right now.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Locario, I think this came out very good.
Yeah. Definitely. I appreciate it, man. Yeah.